What's going on, folks? Welcome back to another Skyrim mods video. This time we're going to be taking a look at a couple of spells from one of my favorite other RPGs, Dragon Age. This one's going to be titled Dragon Age Spells Redux. This mod was actually available on the vanilla edition of Skyrim, but has been recently ported over to Special Edition. Once you install the mod, you can talk to anyone that sells spells, and you will see that you will have a new list of tomes that are in the inventory. Now, in order to actually get them separated the way I have them, you will need another mod that I'm going to quickly highlight called Magic Mod Spells Tome. What this does is certain spells will actually be marked from the mod that they came from. For instance, we have the Dragon Age tomes, which has been added to the mod recently. So this will separate those spells from the other spells that you may have from certain other mods, such as the Elemental mods or the Arcadium mod that I showed off last time. As per usual, I'll be showing off each spell that comes with the mod. There's not as many as that I usually show off, so we'll pretty much be able to go through each and every one of them. The first one's going to be Crushing Prison. Encloses a target in a collapsing cage of telekinetic force, which inflicts damage for 12 seconds. Next up is Curse of Mortality. Cursed enemies cannot heal or generate health and take continuous damage for 20 seconds. As you can see, the target is marked with a curse, with the icon over their head, and the health is steadily draining. Now, this is really useful for monsters that have innate abilities to generate health, as those who use magical spells and stuff like that. Next up, we have Disruption Field. A bubble of energy that slows and weakens enemies caught inside. Enemies larger than the field are immune, so this means you can't really use it against dragons, anything like that. Anything that's usually bigger than a normal human, basically. You see here, go ahead and disable the enemy's combat so you can see how it actually works in terms of it's slowing down. As you can see, the enemy is very slow while walking inside the field. And something that's very interesting about these spells is that, just like in Dragon Age and Dragon Age Origins 1 and 2, it will take some time before you can use these spells again, so you can't basically spam them. As you can see here, once I cast the spell, if I try and cast it again, I'll get a notification that says, please wait before using Disruption Field again. Next up on the list is Earthquake. Creates an isolated earthquake that knocks down enemies every few seconds for a total of 20 seconds. This is a master level spell. So as you notice, the ground is shaking. We'll go ahead and summon maybe one or two more bandits and we'll disable the combat AI. There you go. As you can see, the earthquake is actually knocking them on their feet, or knocked them off their feet. Next up, we have Energy Barrage. Launches a slavel of 12 elemental blasts that homes in on your target. Now, in order for this spell to work, you must have an elemental spell in your other opposite hand. For this instance, we're going to be using Firebolt. You can tell the spell is activated properly when you have the sigil in front of you. Now, as you can see, we have to wait a few more seconds before we can charge the spell again. Next up, we're going to be taking a look at two spells here, Forcefield Self and Forcefield Target. Cast a telekinetic barrier around the caster. Caster cannot move, but is completely immune to damage for 8 seconds. And that's the same effect except for a targeted person. So as you can see here, we're both trapped in the field. Neither one of us can move. And I'll go ahead and show that she is immune to damage as well. As you can see here, my firebolts having no effect on the target. Next up, we have some of the glyphs that are from Dragon Age. Glyph of Neutralization. This glyph neutralizes all magic and forbids spellcasting within its bounds for 20 seconds. And then Glyph of Paralysis. This glyph will paralyze up to 3 enemies that cross its bounds for a maximum of 12 seconds. Now, these glyphs activate the same principles as traps. As you can see here, there is the glyph. I'll move some of these bodies out the way so you can get a better look. As you see, this bandit mage has been hit. We'll go ahead and disable the AI so you can see that she can no longer cast spells as long as she's in that glyph. As you can see, she has to switch over to her dagger whenever she crosses inside of the glyph. Okay, the glyph is activated. And you can tell the spell works because the target will be knocked on their feet. It will be the same principle for the glyph of Paralysis. As you can see, the bandit mage has been disabled, and so has the blood bandit. This will last for about 20 seconds. Weather frozen, this gives us one more. Glyph of Repulsion. The glyph will repel most enemies that cross its bounds for a maximum of 20 seconds. Give us a quick minute here. This bit of damage is actually really good because it does show off the next spell that comes off. So go ahead, do some more damage to me. Alright, there we go. We can see the glyph is activated. As it disables anyone that steps within it. The next spell we're going to be showing off is called Grave Robber. Regains 10% of health and magicka for each enemy corpse nearby. So as there are a lot of corpse nearby when I activate the spell, you can tell the spell is working because blood will drain from the enemies, and it will refill your health and magicka. Next up, we have Grease. Summons a grease slick that slows and slips anyone who walks in it for 20 seconds, can be set on fire. Anyone who's played Dragon Age before knows what this spell is. Mana Clash. Enemies are completely drained of magicka and suffer damage proportional to the amount of magic they lost. Now this is really useful for mages, not necessarily regular fighters, simply because they don't have as many magical points as, say, mages or even undead who have a lot of magic on them. So let's go ahead and cast Mana Clash. There we go. As you can see, because she was a mage, she had a high amount of magic points, which means the spell was pretty much able to one-shot her. Next up, we have Sleep, which is pretty self-explanatory. This will put any enemy or ally to sleep. As you can see, it is a little glitchy, but they are completely disabled for a short amount of time. Sleep doesn't last that long, but it's enough for you to either get out of what you're doing or to actually set them up for a trap. Next up, we have Static Cage. Enemies within range are trapped in an electric field that shocks and drives it back to those who try to leave for 12 seconds. So for this, we're gonna enable the AI once again. As you can see, they're sapped back inside of the static cage, and damage is done to them every time they try and step out. Next up is Stinging Swarm. A swarm of insects deals damage for 12 seconds. If the target dies before the X Factor expires, the swarm will jump on another enemy for up to 5 times. So what we're going to do here is we're going to summon 2 more bandits here. And we're going to try and kill at least one of them with the Stinging Swarm so we can show off the jump effect. This may kill him in the next couple of seconds. So let's see. So the spell didn't kill him. We'll try it again. So there we go. As you can see, the swarm has jumped onto the next blood bandit. Unfortunately, that bandit didn't die, but that effect will stack up to 5 times. Going on from there, we have Stone Fist. An ethereal stone fist that deals 25 points of damage when hit and sends enemies flying. So not a lot of damage, but it will stop enemies in their tracks. In any case, we'll go the Waking Bomb. Causes the target to take 29 damage for 15 seconds. If the target dies while infected, the explosions have a 33% chance to infect those nearby. And that was Waking Bomb. Thank you guys for watching the video. I greatly appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you already done so already. All the mods that I've talked about today will be in the link in the description as always. So if you do download the mod, please endorse the mod authors. Also, if you want to check out my Patreon page and help support, even $1 goes a long way. You get access to videos ahead of time, more so than I post them on YouTube, and I'll be doing discussions on Discord and things like that. So if you want to check that out, links in the description down below. Otherwise, thank you guys for watching. Somewhere on the screen there will be a video that I've made in the past, as well as the Patrons I've already subscribed to the channel, which their names should be rolling through the screen now. I just want to say thank you guys to the old and new Patrons, and I will catch you guys in the next video.